Hello traders, Tiago Andrade here from the Trading Cage. A very good morning to you. Thursday, the 5th of March. Man, the year is going past really quick. I hope that you all have had a really awesome morning so far. Let's have a look at what our gold is doing today. What are the tricks that it's going to be playing on us? Gold yesterday was really, really good. I actually had a view of as a buyer on the gold. Okay, so I only managed to do about 3 trades. I didn't want to sell where gold was. So I only got, I think I did 1 sell and I did 2 buys. All of them paid, but I'm really not a seller at the moment. Let me just have a look. Something tells me that we are not live yet. Um, let's see what's happening here. Oh yeah, so we are live there. I hope that everything is fixed. Good morning, Sabu. How are you? Um, okay. Can you hear me fine, Sabu? Just so I can make sure. Because over here it's showing as I'm not live yet. Oh yes, I am. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, great. All right. Good to know. Sometimes it's quite difficult because I get messages from my system here saying that the connection's not that great. So it's hard to know if we are actually live or not. Cool. So let's have a look. So yesterday we did a couple of trades. We did 2 buys, short buys actually, because the trade didn't evolve the way I wanted it to. And I did 1 long sale. Let's see if we can get on with a couple trades to make Sabu happy today. All right. So today we have these Fibonacci here. We are above this 50%, and we are above this trigger candle here. This is a daily trigger candle. Price came here yesterday, grabbed all that liquidity. Let's go have a look at our daily chart and see where we are sitting at the moment, eh? So yesterday, once again, we came here to test the support, which is the region of 5102. Price opened up right above it, okay, at the region of the minimal of candle 40 at the region of 5127. So price tested down. Now it went up to the region of the maximum high of yesterday. Now it is making a retraction. It is above today's 50%, and it is above this support, which is 5158. Next point here that could hold this price, I'm gonna move this line here to the minimal of 41, okay? Because 41 now has become the relevant stopping point. We are above it at the moment. So let's wait for that. Also, I'm gonna change this line here, and I'm gonna put this red line there, as this is our next relevant stopping point on the minimals of trigger candle 42. So we still have got inefficiency here, just above this 50% of this retraction. Price has come down and tested the support twice. It also did test this 50% yesterday. It did not manage to break through. Um, as I said before, we still on an uptrend. Okay, so we have got this trend line here that's tracking quite well here. So we still have got that trend line in there. So we're still on a movement, on a bullish movement towards these record high. So I'm still a buyer in this market. Okay, if the market shows that it's going to sell, then we can sell, of course. But I'm still a buyer in this movement. All right. When am I going to turn into a seller? I'm going to become a seller once price breaks through this support and starts coming down here, because then it will be low, will be below this 50%. Then we can actually get good sales since we have quite a lot of liquidity below. Okay. At the moment, we don't. Um, this liquidity here is actually gone. So we got liquidity here. I'll just leave it there for now. I'll unselect this, and this should be fine for now. So we do know that we have a lot of liquidity on top of 42. We also have got a lot of inefficiency here, past this 50% on candle 43, which the market could use to accelerate. We also have payroll tomorrow, so market today might be a little bit sideways. So to prepare for payroll tomorrow. So just have that in mind. Today's not going to be the easiest day to trade, simply because every time we get really close to the payroll, um, market starts playing up a little bit and consolidating. So tomorrow it can go and stop everybody. So I do believe that we might have a bullish payroll tomorrow, simply because there's a lot of inefficiency up there, and price has come to the regional support and grab all that liquidity below. So we could be looking at a bullish payroll. Of course, we'll have to make our analysis tomorrow and see how it goes. But this is what we are looking at for the moment. All right. So let's go over to our 1 hour chart, and then let's see what the 1 hour chart is actually giving us. Over here on the 1 hour chart, we can see that price is really sideways. It's consolidated in this region. Okay. We do have a relevant stopping point here, which is our trigger candle 74. And this one is the one responsible to hold this price on its way up. Now, we have seen that we have done many liquidity grabs below, which puts a lot of stops in the regions above. Okay. So once this candle 53 here on the 15 minutes starts breaking through this trigger candle, I would be actually quite happy to get into a long trade to see if it's gonna, it starts breaking through those maximum highs above and grabbing that liquidity, those stops in there. Okay. So candle 53 is just above that 50% at the moment. So in here on our 1 hour, let's see if there's anything else that we need to have a look at. So we've got this 50%. We are well above this 50% here. We are over the 50% of the day. 50% of the day is working at the moment as a support. We do have a whole bunch of trigger candles here to the left. at the region of this minimals of that trigger candle on the daily chart, but this should not stop this price at the moment, okay, as the next stopping point is up there. We've got 2 minutes for that 5-minute candle. So this is our resistance, supports below, resistance right there. 1 minute trying to break through. Okay, so this is going. Let me have a look at these 15 minutes here. Let's see how this is going to close. We might get a good buy here. So price has broken through. This price closed above the last high. This one should continue the movement. I don't want to see candle 794 closing inside of the structure. Otherwise, it tells us that this trigger candle is still quite strong. So let's see if it goes back up. Candle 159 should close above its 50%. It's not doing that at the moment, which means that we can't buy on the next one. It's gonna have to come and test support, but this is not a very good indication for me to buy. It did the liquidity, it grabbed the liquidity above here. I should have continued. Candle 54 must test down. Candle 53 did close inside the trigger candle. Let's see how much it will actually test. If candle 54 tests down the support in this region, I still might be willing to put a buy in. It does need to test. All right, good morning to all of you guys. If you guys have any questions, just write down on the chat and I'll do my best to answer all your questions, okay? Also, if you came through to this live and you like this content, please don't forget to like and comment, subscribe to our channel and share this channel with your friends, okay? Just so YouTube finds this content relevant, and then also share this with other people as well. So candle 54 is coming down here to the last support. This is really good. I like this test, okay? Because if candle 54 comes back up now, after testing the trigger candle 51, this means that it will come to continue its movement up. It is above this 50%. It also is above 50% of the day. We have got that trigger candle on the 1 hour, which is just here on our 5178. So which could give us a 500 point take if this price actually rejects this trigger candle at the 50% of the movement. So right now, all we're going to do is we are going to wait to see how it will react to it. If this price comes back over this 50, then we don't do anything. If it comes back up, then we could be looking at a good option of going long. At the moment, price has broken through this 50%, but not that 50. So price has come here to the region of support. I'm gonna put a long buy here on the 15 minutes just to see if price will actually come back up. Okay, if it's gonna reject that support and bring the price right back up. Let's see if it'll do that. Remember the stop loss is it's under candle 153. Of course we're not gonna take the stop that low, but still the stop has to be in that region, okay? All right, so price coming back up quite quickly. It's gonna grab us really soon. We do have a lot of liquidity up in the region of 122 as well. So there's a lot of liquidity in there. We are now on the trade, and I'm gonna put my take. I'm gonna see if this will actually come through up to here. Of course, if it doesn't, I'm gonna take my trade out before then, but let's see how it's gonna react. I'll put my stop loss just below that 50%. This region served as a support before, so let's see if it's gonna still work as support now for the price. Candle 160 closed well above 50% of candle 159 with a big push from buyers here. While price works, let me go over to this 15 minutes. Gonna put a trend line here. Price has confirmed the pullback to the highs. Okay, so candle 801 is coming to test trigger candle 797, which doesn't make me too happy because the obligation of this 1 minute, it's actually coming and renewing that maximum high. So why is candle 54 on the 15 minutes coming down so quickly? It's not good. Always make sure that your risk management is in place, okay? Because you don't want to be putting more lots than what you're supposed to. We had a very big push here from sellers. Not very happy about that, as it had confirmed pullback to the highs. The obligation is for the price to come and renew that maximum high of candle 794. Let's wait for it once again. Let's see if trigger candle 51 is going to hold that price. All we can do right now is wait for it. We do have support here on 1 minute to the left, okay? This is original support, but now sellers are really pushing it through. What I'll do is I'll put my stop under candle 153 here. I'm still on my risk management. Okay. So I'm just gonna leave it there because this here doesn't look very nice. We do have the short here, this trend line, which could hold this price. We do have the 50%. I don't want to be too close, just in case he wants to come here, grab that liquidity and move back up. All right, so candle 54 still testing that trigger candle 51. We still have 5 minutes to go. Candle 161 on the 5 minutes. Hasn't closed below candle 160, but it is at the region of that 50%, still working on the regional support. Candle 804 isn't managing to bring the price back up, so we have a very big push from sellers at this region. Now candle 162 on 5 minutes has tested down. So candle 805 is opened up, testing down. Let's see if it will manage to break this 50% and the support to the left. This is the support right here that we don't want to see price breaking through. This is quite odd because price came here to test the support right now pretty much 3 times. So this is the 3rd time that price is coming down here after grabbing the liquidity here. So it could be doing a couple things. It could be just making up extra liquidity up above, okay, inducing sellers to put stops on the maximum high. At the moment, we still have got an uptrend. Okay, so we have higher highs and higher lows at the moment. So it is a bit odd how they're just inducing sellers to put more stop up above. It does make it seem like they want to break through this high. So they could also be running out of liquidity a little bit. So if they do run out of liquidity, the place for them to grab some liquidity would be below candle 153. So then we would be in the line of fire pretty much if they decided to bring this price down. On the 1 minute, we still have held that support, but right now we have um, lower lows, lower highs, sorry. So price is doing this, which is not ideal. If it does break that 50% and does break the support, I am going to take my trade out because I prefer to stop at short than actually stopping at where it is. Candle 162 is just testing trigger candle 153. and our trend line right now. But if it does close inside of this trigger candle 153, I am taking my trade out. It could just be coming down here to grab some liquidity that it needs, okay? But then I'm not going to be taking that full stop in there. Candle 807 did close inside of these regional support. Candle 808 tried to bring the price back up. Candle 809 is testing down at the moment. Let's see how it's going to work out in that region. We are still at the 50% of this movement, so I don't have a reason to get out of my trade just yet. If price does break through this trigger candle on 5-3, most likely it will be coming down to the 50% of the day. And then I'll look at another entry to go long really soon. So candle 162 did close below that 50%. It hasn't closed below the trigger candle yet. It closed at our trend line, but now it has confirmed pullback on the 1 minute to the minimals. So now we got to be very, very careful, because now it has failed the pullback to the highs and leaves an obligation for the price to come down and renew the minimals of candle 759. If candle 810 doesn't manage to break through that resistance now, which was support, and continue on its way up, we could be looking at this price coming down now. There we go, big pressure from sellers. We're still above that trigger candle, still above that trend line. Let's see if price comes back up over that 50%. Oh, that's all right, Sabu. As long as you have done it inside your risk management, that's totally fine. Candle 54 did close inside of that trigger candle 51. I'm just waiting for that 5 minutes trigger candle to see if price is going to break through that. It hasn't managed to, just touched it. So that could still hold that price. If 1 minute comes down and closes below candle 809, then I've got to take my trade out. Price is still on an uptrend. I still believe that price is going to get to that high once again. And here, the height of the movement. So I'm waiting for the price in here and there. It might come and then come down here, stop it, and then go back up. So if it does that, then I'll buy again. Okay. There we go. Let's see if buyers just push the price back up over that 50. Let's see if they'll take control of this price. So let me just show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this. So I've got this trigger candle here. and I have our trend line going up. If price doesn't break through that, it will use this as support. Once again, we're really close to the 50% of the day. Now we do have this trend line on the 1 minute. We do need to see prices coming back and stopping these guys and breaking through trigger candle 800. If that doesn't happen, then price will have to come down and complete the obligation of stopping everybody here below 759. Okay. So for the moment, we are still live on this trade, but let's see how it goes. We have a pullback here on on candle 813. Candle 814 is pushing up again. Now it might leave us something else here. If price does come above this 50% of this movement here, it will be confirming pullback to the highs once again. So if it does that, then we could have another option of buying. We'll buy with a cheaper stop. Oh, come on, it closed at the 50%. It did not even close above it. It just closed at the 50%. If it had closed above it, then we could actually put a buy in there with a cheaper stop. It didn't, so let it go. Let's say, so price here, candle 815. Just grab the liquidity from the sellers here who sold at candle 807. Let's see if it's going to continue on its way up. It did touch trigger candle 159 as well. So now you're going to get a little bit of pressure from sellers once again. Oh, my trend line got deleted. So now candle 164 has tested up. It's coming back down. What it can't do, it's still making higher highs and higher lows. What it can't do is start renewing lows. So we're stuck on the trade. Let's see what market will do for us. At the moment, the region of 5164 is still a region of support as well, okay? It is a trigger candle on the 1 hour. So we want price to stay well above it. Over here on 1 minute, price is above support once again. Let's see if it confirms the pullback to the highs. We are above 50%, we are above support. Let's see how that's going to work out right there. The price hasn't gotten to the trigger candle 800 yet on the 1 minute, but it did touch candle 154, 159, and this is why price has retracted the way it has. Once again, we have a lot of stops on that maximum high in there. Above candle 159, we have a lot of stops above candle 122 and a lot over that candle 50 as well, which is the maximum high of today, and above that. So price could get into a roll here. Only issue that I'm thinking that it might not come up here today is that we have payroll tomorrow, so we do have a lot of inefficiency and a lot of liquidity up above these regions. But market might wait until tomorrow to actually grab those. Candle 801 is pushing price back up, so it has confirmed pullback on this small pullback here. So price does need to come over this high of candle 815. Candle 164 is pretty much closing as a doji. So we have some sort of indecision in the market. Candle 165 is testing up. Only 15 minutes. If candle 55 closes like this is actually quite good for our trade. Okay, so if it closes in that region, it's actually quite all right because we'll be very close to our trigger candle here, and then we'll close above 50% of this region, so it will mean that price does need to come back up. And then we should be looking at our take, which is awesome. Candle 820 did find some pressure from sellers there. 821 is trying to push price back up. Price is below the 50% of these movement, so nothing to do at the moment. One 165 is coming down once again. Testing the regional support. We have got a lot of trigger candles to the left. Let's see what's happening here at 1 minute. Trying to confirm pullback to the minimals. One of those things we do know that price needs to go up there and to grab that. The structure is a bias structure. We are above all 50%. But then again, price might be coming down to grab liquidity before it continue its movement up. So leaves us in a bit of a pickle. This is just 50% below. Still above 50 on that. And we're about 50 here. Candle 5165 is coming down once again to test that support. Candle 55 is going to close below its 50%. Doesn't make me very happy because now on 1 minute it has failed that pullback to the highs and once again confirmed pullback to the minimals. We are again at that regional support just above trigger candle 153. Candle 166 does come down. I'm going to get out of that trade. Now, candle on the 15 minutes, candle 56 does need to test down. So I am happy if it tests into the minimals of candle 810. But if it comes down below that, then I'm not very happy about that. Okay. Candle 165 did leave quite a bit of inefficiency here. That candle 166 could go grab. But now we have a trigger candle here on the region of 164, which could be tough for this price to beat going up. There we go. We got pressure from sellers at the moment. Still have got support. Buyers are defending this region. Now we got that trigger candle 164. One thing that I quite don't like about this is that we had higher highs and higher lows, and then all of a sudden, candle 164 creates a lower low. Okay, so this is something that I didn't quite like in the structure. It should actually come here and make a higher high once again to show me that this price is going to continue. Candle 55 on the 15 minutes closed below its 50% on the minimal regions of it, where it opened up. So it tells me that's a lot of pressure from sellers in that region. And then now candle 166 has tested that trigger candle and got pushed back down. So it starts to tell me that this price is going to have to come down lower to grab liquidity, okay? So it can continue on its way up. But then again, I am in a long trade, so it doesn't leave me in a very good position right now. But it's all right. Our stop is pretty much 1% of our wallet. and we can lose up to 4% per day, 3 to 4. That's the stop we have on our risk management. So if it does stop us now, um, we can still have another 4 trades at the open of the American market. I wanted to get into this trade right now because we had all the indications that this price would continue to go up. We did broke through the last high. Price came down to the support region and went up again, went back up. It just grabbed us and then we got pushed down from sellers. So, but we did everything inside of the technique. So everything is fine. The good thing about using techniques is don't change a technique every time, okay? So always do everything inside of the technique. So if it goes right, you know that you did the right thing. If it goes wrong, you know that you did the right thing. I did everything I had to do, everything that I do every single day. So you're not changing things over and over again. Okay, so candle 829 did come to the minimals of candle 810. Still hasn't broken through. Price is still above the trigger candle 153. 166 closed just above that support. Things don't look too good at the moment for this trade, but price is still holding at that support. Now we have more liquidity generated here on the high of candle 164. Price is at our trend line. It's just trying to break through it right now. So we are in the region of the decision if price is going to come back down or if it's going to continue on its uptrend. Big push from buyers once again. Let's see if buyers will manage to stop the guys who sold at 828. We still have that trigger candle on 64 in that region to work as a resistance for this price. As we're getting over closer to 10 o'clock, we're going to get a little bit more volatility. So this price might come up really quickly, or it might actually come down really quickly to do that liquidity grab below. So at the moment, we still have got pretty much 7 minutes to go until the opening, until I actually have to go, sorry. Um, So what I have here is we have got an uptrend over 50% of the day, okay? And over all 50% before. We have the last retraction, we are below the 50% of the last retraction, okay? So this is pretty much what we're looking at. This is the last retraction here. This is the 50% of it. This is where price stopped yesterday. But we are above this 50% here, which is the region of support. This is the minimals of yesterday, and this 50% here. So right now we are above this 50. We are above 50% of today, and we are above 50% of the last movement. One thing, let me just check one thing here. If I put this Fibonacci here, are we still above that 50? Yes. So we are still above this 50, even if I put the Fibo here. So this is the last movement, and we are above that 50% as well. So we are above all 50s at the moment. We are in a high trend, okay. On the macro movement, we are still on a high trend. So we have got all we need to know that price will come up. Now we have got a lot of inefficiency and liquidity up here, but tomorrow we do have payrolls. So payrolls, normally the day before payrolls, the market gets a bit sideways, just accumulating liquidity for the payroll to come and clear. Okay, so just pay attention today. Wait for the market to start breaking these structures, or I would buy pretty much where I bought. If price continues breaking, if it breaks this 50 here, which is the last movement it did, I would actually be happy to buy once again. Okay, so let me put this here. So if market continues to be above this 50%, and if it breaks through these 50, okay, these trigger candles here, I would be quite happy to go long once again. Okay, now to go low, to short the market, wait for it to break through this 50, this regional support, okay, because then we will know that it wants to come down and grab the liquidity that it generated today. There's quite a bit of liquidity below candle 153, 133, 113, and candle 87. Now, candle 87 is pretty much at the same support as yesterday, so I don't know how much the market would be. I don't know if the market would be strong enough to actually come down here, and break through this to grab all that liquidity below, okay? Because if it does that, then it will be changing the the tendency that it has for the moment. All right. So this is pretty much it. I would buy above the region of 50% of the day, and I would just think about sales if the price reaches below this 50% of the day, then tests up and shows me that it has changed the structure. Wait for the structure to make higher lows and lower lows, okay? At the moment, it hasn't disconfigured the higher highs and higher lows yet. Okay, so if you're looking to short the market, wait for it a little bit. Candle 168 did come to that support yet once again, hasn't managed to break through. We're still above that 50. Candle 837, respected trigger candle 829. Let's see how this market will behave. Okay, so it has now closed above 50% of this last movement, but it hasn't yet confirmed pullback to the highs. For that to happen, it has to close above candle 164. We still have got a bit of a fight in here between buyers and sellers. Sellers trying to push the price down and buyers trying to push the price back up. Guys, it is 10 o'clock. It has been great to be here together with you guys. Today we got into a trade and we just stayed 1 hour into that trade. Even though we used everything inside of our technique and all the readings, our readings are right. But if the market doesn't have enough liquidity, it's going to have to come below to grab it. So I'm going to be holding this trade. Let's see how things will play out. I still believe, okay, and I trust that this market should come back up and stop these people, these guys here, and also the guys up there, okay? There's a lot of liquidity up above, but let's see how it is going to work. This has been the Trading Cage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, okay? It will be great to see you here once again. Oh, there we go. Prices trying to come back to stop us. And it has done the stop. All right. So stopped us for today, but that's totally fine. We'll grab it. We'll get it once again. Guys, thank you very much for everything, for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with some more Trading Cage. And this is where we beat the gold. All right. Let's wait until the opening of the US market. This could be just a liquidity grab. This market should come back up, okay? If it does stay below 50% of the day and it does make, lower lows and lower highs, then short the market. Just be careful around those trigger candles, all right? So don't be shorting it in front of a trigger candle because it could be quite bad. All right, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.